Hey y'all, how's everyone doing? Well, this is a much requested video, believe it or not, where people have asked me to please do more cooking online. So I'm going to do it. First of all, I will tell y'all, you know how I always say, hey y'all? Look at that. Excuse me. That's my hey y'all cup. And I love it so much. And I have in here coffee that I poured over ice, and then one of the things I do to make it special is I put this sugar-free International Delight hazelnut creamer on top of it. It's like having a little specialty drink. And this has 1 carb per tablespoon and 0 sugars. A total 2 grams of fat. So, I mean, I'm sure this isn't super healthy, but can you see me just a little bit? It's a nice little treat. So that's what I have in here, is a little iced coffee, and I like to have that when I'm cooking. I'm going to be cooking in this pot today. This is a Mackenzie Childs, and I love this. This is kind of a splurge that I did for, actually that my husband did for me. He got me the, what is this called? Teapot. No, I think I got the teapot, and he got me these 2 pieces, and I was like so overjoyed. I can't remember if it was my birthday last year or Christmas, but I love it because look how on top it's got like a little bird on this one. I think that's the 1 quart size, and then this has got like a little flower with leaves on top, and then the other one I want has a little bird nest with little eggs in it, and then I'll be done. But anyway, and I often use this little teapot. I'll get some sunflowers and just take the lid off and use this as a vase and have sunflowers coming out of it. And it's really, really pretty. Or a bright red plant, just because it's black and white, it's just really, really cute. So just, when you make an investment in cookware, sometimes you can make it have a dual purpose, I guess that's what I'm saying. So I'm not focusing on me today, so you're going to see me, but I'm not focused on me and my face. I'm going to be focusing on what I'm doing here. And this is super easy. So what I'm going to do, I've already washed my hands, just so you know. I'll put my little drink over there. This is the Chick-fil-A, and I know y'all think, well, you work for Chick-fil-A, but I'm just telling you, so easy, y'all. This is a Chick-fil-A meal kit, and I got 2 of them because I want to make a lot. And what they do is they give you the kit, and everything you need is in it. And so days that I just don't really feel like cooking, I run up to Chick-fil-A and I get this. This is the chicken Parmesan meal kit. It says it's ready in 25 minutes. You can elongate that or do it faster. But anyway, so one of the things I do is just go ahead and cut it and get all my little stuffs ready. And I'm going to show you what I do. This is not necessarily what everybody does. This is what Beth Buchanan does. Okay, so I'll put the secondary one over to the side here. And then they also give you separately, because they are very big on making sure everything's safe. And so you get your chicken in a separate bag. And I chose, you can choose whether you want regular chicken, or spicy, what am I trying to say here? Spicy grilled. And I choose spicy grilled and regular. And what I do is I do, for each kit, I do 1 of each. So the fact that now I've got 2 kits and I'm going to cook them all together, I'm going to double everything. So I'll be doing 2 entrees, which is the regular, and then the 2 grilled. I went back and got the entrees if you're wondering why. Okay, so when you open it, this is what you get. It's all nicely packaged in here. Super, super easy. Take your Parmesan cheese out and just leave it, because you're going to add that at the very end. But you get this little packet of sauce. You get this little package of cheese sauce. You get little fixins. That actual, I think that's kale and grape tomatoes, and then a lemon, which you use for seasoning the noodles. I never knew that. The noodles. And then in the bottom is your recipe and instructions. And I've done it so many times, I don't need to. So I'm just going to get going. So first of all, what do? You put in water. I'm going to use double what they ask me to, just because instead of oil, y'all, it's water that you're cooking all this in. And so what do you put in there? Well, the first thing, I'm going to go ahead and let that start getting warm. And I don't normally add any spices, but if I do, the only spice I really like that's not a lot of salt is the salt-free Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. And so in that water, for one thing, just so it smells good while it's warming up, I put a little sprinkles of that. You don't have to do that part. Okay, so in there, what do you put in? Everything's been pre-washed, and my hands have been pre-washed. So I'm just going to drop in here, first of all of the lettuce. Okay? So now all the lettuce is in there. And remember, I'm doing double, I guess is what I should say, the ingredients, because that's just what I've chosen to do. Hold on one second, and I will cut this. And we'll just go ahead and do everything together at one time. So now I'm going to open this one too. And save these little lids, and I'll show you why. It makes it easier to cook. I'm going to choose one of these lids, and I'm going to put the lemons in it. Okay? And again, I'm going to just put these pieces of, I think it's kale. Where's the little ingredients? I'll tell you. I guess I should have saved that just to talk to y'all about it. Excuse me for walking right into the camera. What you will need, a small cutting board, which I have, a small knife, baking sheet, aluminum foil. I don't use the baking sheet. Aluminum foil, I don't even need that. Non-stick spray, don't use that. A skillet with a lid, I do use that. Tongs, spatula, colander, measuring cup. I've already pre-done everything. I think they probably say you could give that produce a wash. Well, you know what? It's just going to be boiled. I think it's going to be all right. But yeah, you probably should pre-wash kale. Yes, it's chopped kale. So what is it? Tomato sauce, shredded cheese blend, chopped kale, grape tomatoes, a whole lemon, garlic Alfredo sauce, and spaghetti pasta that's ready to heat. I guess that means it's been pre-cooked. So take all these little tomatoes. You know what just occurred to me is I have music on. Alexa, stop playing. Again, keep these little things for your waste. Now, also, if you wish, you can put your own little stuffs in there. I typically don't, but I happen to have some pre-cut peppers. You could put that in. I got the tomatoes, so I'm not going to do it. Or you could put in a little onion if you want to. You can always adjust some flavors if you want to, but honestly, I feel like this is so good, I don't ever adjust anything. I don't need to. Okay, so one of the things that I'm going to do is go ahead and get these little tomatoes in there, and you can either get who has this in their drawer? Who has that in the drawer? That is not for my grandkids. That is for me. I just think it's so cute that when I drink juice, I want that on my juice cup. But anyway, all right, so you can get like one of these, green cut knives, but I'll tell you what really cuts stuff good. A good old-fashioned steak knife. And what I like to do, you do not have to do this. I like to cut these little lids off my tomatoes or cut them in half. And I also like to use this little thing to squat into it. This is the debris that I was talking about. I like to get rid of any extra seeds. And then I like to slice these in half. So for me, it's a little more time consuming than it would be for you just to dump those in there, which is perfectly acceptable. But just as I've gotten older, I feel like I don't need to eat as many seeds just because sometimes you can get diverticulosis, and if these little seeds get in one of those pockets, you can get diverticulitis. And so I do take all my little seeds out. But this takes no time. This is just something I like to do. This is not required at all. And so what you're going to do is just put all your little tomatoes in here with your wonderful smelling kale starting to heat up in not oil, plain old water, just plain old water. I'm just getting these little seeds out and cutting out that little middle piece. Kind of just making it a little more bite-sized for me. That's just the way I like it. Now this is going to be a little more time consuming just because, you know me, I talk a lot, and I'm telling you more about what I'm doing than just doing it. But I did want you to see how simple this is in case this does time out. This is so simple, y'all, that when my husband gets home, first of all, he is smelling this wonderful smelling dish, and he's like, gosh, what's for dinner? And I'll say Chick-fil-A, and he's like, good. Sometimes he's like, again, because, y'all, I do this like so many times. I just love it. It is just so good. And like I said, you do not have to cut your seeds out. This is because of diverticulosis runs in my family, okay? And so I just like to make sure I get as many seeds out of things as possible, just so, if you're going to eat seeds, it's better to eat seeds like Oh, look, I've got my cell phone over here just in case my husband's going to write me. But then y'all probably don't need to see that. But I want to show you something that's kind of cool. It's this neat little stand. It just sits right on it while I'm cooking. Okay, but we'll sit it back over here out of the way. How about that? Yeah, that's probably the best way to go. Okay, took another little sip of my iced coffee. And just so y'all know, I have been, or we've talked about this, I've been trying to switch to decaf coffee. So it's a true treat. And I'm just going to, again, I'm just using my knife to move that around a little bit. I've got to be real careful because this is enamelware and you don't want to scrape it. But, I mean, it does tell you to have a spatula. It does tell you to have, you know, a pan and all that kind of stuff. I don't do any of that, y'all. This is how easy this is for me. I just cut these little babies in half, pull their little seeds out, and drop them in. Whoop. Or as some of them, if I feel like it, I cut them in half, so there'll just be more and more and more of them. And what's really cool is that as these saute and simmer, for one thing, it smells wonderful. You get the feeling that you're really cooking when a lot of this has been pre-done for you. And that's why I like it. Okay. So then once you get all your little maters in there, then another thing you can do is go ahead and cut up your chicken. Now here's what I do. I take my chicken out of the Chick-fil-A package. I do not use a cutting board. I literally do this. I have my little steak knife. I literally just cut off bite-sized little pieces right into the pan. Right into the pan. Super easy. Just little bite-sized pieces.